Okay. There we go. All right. There we go. Sometimes, like, I don't know, if I've gone a few days without using OBS, it disconnects the microphone. I don't know why. Anyway, greetings from the library cave. I am Aspen Dracaena, your friendly neighborhood Ice Dragon Bookwyrm VTuber, and I am playing my friend Peppa Pig, who I'm not sure is really my friend. Or is she? I don't know. I'm going to move a little bit down to the side there. And there we go. Hang on. Wait a moment. There we go. There we go, I think. Wait, hang on. There. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we are playing My Friend Peppa Pig. I will just briefly talk about my few days away. I got to visit my beloved, wonderful panda. And we had a really great time. Dating advice, people. Don't go overboard spending loads of money on your dates. Do something simple. You know, when you do something simple on a date, it creates a lot more room to just focus on each other, and a lot less space gets taken up with how things look and how things are supposed to be. My favorite part of going to visit Panda might have been the walk that we took to in this wildlife preserve area. So, you know, that cost us nothing really other than time. So, yeah, big dating advice tip. Keep it simple. Because that way you actually get to know the person you're dating. All right, let's see. Let's get started. So, I know nothing about this game. All I know is that it downloaded really fast, so I was a little concerned that it would be pretty short. So I downloaded my other Peppa Pig game I got. See, I got both of these games along with a few others in a Humble Bundle. And there are some pretty funny games in there. I think I have a JoJo Siwa game, which I may play at some point too. But yeah. So I have two Peppa Pig games. So if this game is short, I will pull up the other Peppa Pig game. So let's get going. Hi, Ocha. All right, let's get going. Let's see what happens. Peppa Pig. Anything I should do with settings? Language, the worst. Okay. Let's see. Language, English, Espanol, Latinoamericano. I know I said on Blue Sky today I need to work on my Spanish, but I'm not going to do that today. Maybe I can come back to this game at another point and do it in Espanol. Let's see. Portuguese, Francais, Dutch. That's Russian, I believe. Polish. Wow, I don't even know this one. Kelly. Espanol. Italiana. Man, they have this in a lot of languages. I'm impressed. Wow. Okay. I'll leave the subtitles on. That'll be good. I don't think we need parental... Do you guys think we need parental control? So choose how long... yeah, we don't need that. We're adults here. Input remap. Okay. I think we'll just play. This game has an autosave feature. I don't know, you guys. I'm scared. Okay, new friend.
Let us start. First off, choose what kind of clothes you will wear.
Ooh, okay. I'll wear a dress.
Great. Now choose the animal you want to be.
Wait. Okay, what animal do I want to be? They don't have a dragon. I think this is a sheep.
Good choice. What color do you want to be? Would you like to wear glasses?
No.
Want to
But
wear
I feel like... Here, wait, hang
Would you
on.
like to wear glasses?
Or do I want to be a bunny?
Good choice. What color
No,
do you
no,
want to
no.
be?
Hey! Game, what animal is this? Okay, there's a... Okay. I guess that's a cat. And a wolf. I guess that's a pig. A bunny, a fox. I don't know what animal that is. Is that a bear? Let's go to Windy Castle. Who cares? Who cares what animal we are? Let's go to Windy Castle. Oh dear. You know what? I will be a bunny. There we go. The one on the lower left. I maybe a stoat. It's a British. It's a piglet. Yeah, lamb, piglet, mouse. Yeah, I would think that's a lamb. You know what? I worked on a sheep farm, so maybe lamb.
Good choice.
Okay,
What
we'll do
color
that.
do you want to be?
And we'll do that. That's fine.
Would you
Okay.
like to wear glasses?
No.
Want to wear a hat?
Everyone should go watch Peppa Pig. Bunny! Okay. Let's see. What hat should I do? That is such a pimp hat. Oh my god, this is crazy. Like a pillbox hat? A jaunty beret? Yeah, maybe my lamb can start a cult. Yeah, and Cult of the Lamb. Let's do a jaunty little beret.
Well done. Now, if you want to start playing, choose yes. If you want to make a change, choose no.
I'm not sure. Do I want to start playing? Okay. Yeah, sure. All right.
Welcome to Peppa Pig's town. You'll have a lot of fun here. We're going to meet Peppa in a moment, but first, let's try walking.
We can
Use the
walk.
stick to move around.
The Wazda. Wee! 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 I can't move up and down. Only let me go left and right. Up!
What a nice flower. Why don't you get close to it?
Should I? There's a butterfly right there. It might eat me.
Now, press a button to touch it. Remember to use this button.
Hello there.
Hi, Mac. Okay, I guess I should touch the flower. What if it's poisonous? What if it's oleander? A butterfly friend!
Butterfly is flying away. Let's follow it.
No! Come back, butterfly!
There's a fence blocking the way. Not to worry. You can use the same button to open the gate.
Oh my god, the narrator.
Sometimes you will need to move things out of the way to keep going. Remember to use this button when it appears on the screen.
Okay, narrator. La 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 la.
Oh, hello! Welcome to the town. Where are you going, little one?
To talk to Miss Rabbit, walk up to her and press the action button.
Okay. Space.
Are you going to see Peppa? She's just up the hill. Keep walking and you'll be there in a minute. Bye now.
Well done. You've learned how to move around in Peppa Pig's town. If you keep walking, you can meet Peppa.
I feel kind of
Remember
like...
to press the button whenever this appears on the screen.
I
Never
know!
know what could happen.
Okay, fine. I feel like this game is a tutorial for small children to prepare for a lifetime of gaming. You learn with the Wazda. P cards are. Oh, yes! Yes! We'll bounce around in the mud. Now we'll go bug her again.
Are you going to see Peppa? She's just up the hill. Keep walking and you'll be there in a minute.
Ah, yes.
Bye now.
NPCs.
Well done. You've learned how to move around in
Yes,
Peppa
I
Pig
get it.
Town.
I get it. I get. Shut.
If you
No.
keep
Yeah.
walking,
Shut.
you'll meet Peppa.
Okay. All right. Mud jumping is
My
required.
friend Peppa Pig.
My friend
A
Peppa
new friend has come
Pig.
to visit Peppa. How exciting.
Where'd my mud go?
Oh, goody, you're here. Welcome. We're going to have a lovely time. You're here, you're here. We're going to have the best day ever.
Cool. Yeah, you would think. Wait. Space? Okay. Hee hee.
Standing still is boring.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is my
okay.
daddy. Why don't we say hello to him?
Hello.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hello, Peppa. I see you have a new friend.
Did your
Yeah.
just subscribed for 2 months?
Digi, how you doing? Yeah, really, Peppa Pig?
Standing still is boring. Let's go somewhere.
What's wrong with standing still? The British are experts at queuing.
Shall we say hello to my family in the living room?
Oh, wait, space?
Do you want to help? Excellent. I have just the task for you.
Okay.
Why don't you sit here and mix this bowl for me?
Okay. Space.
Well done.
You're a
a
great mixer.
We're going to make a lovely salad with these vegetables.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so, according to, Hitchhiker's Guide to the
What are
Galaxy,
you doing, George?
the British are good at queuing.
Oh, would you mind turning it back on so I can read?
Fine.
Thank you.
Alright, let's go talk to George. Space. I'd rather talk to Peppa's mom. Okay. It's life, the universe, and everything.
Pumpkin,
Exactly.
Have you seen my glasses?
I can't find them anywhere.
I don't think I have, Daddy Pig. Peppa, why don't you and your new friend look for Daddy Pig's glasses? They have to be somewhere around the house.
Okay.
Yes, Mummy. We will find the glasses.
We will find the glasses.
Let's look for the glasses.
I think George is guilty. He stole them and put them in his dinosaur. In the garbage?
Let's look for the glasses.
Yes, I'm looking for the glasses. Maybe they got in the garbage. I don't know. He was just wearing them in here. Oh,
We found the glasses.
the British accent
Let's
is
bring
there.
them back to Daddy.
Let's bring them back to Daddy. Why is Peppa running that way? Daddy's over there. Jeez. Find Daddy Pig's glasses. Okay. Just got an achievement for that. That's great.
That's great, Peppa. Thank you. And thank you.
Yes,
You are
Windy
a
Castle.
great friend to Peppa.
Windy Castle. TV.
Mr. Potato.
Mr.
Do
Potato.
you like Mr. Potato? Peppa does.
Sure, we'll just say yes. Let's turn it off. Let's go upstairs.
Standing still is boring.
I wasn't standing still, Peppa. Jeez Louise. Are you okay? Wait, what? This way?
This is my room. Do you like it? I have lots of toys in the basket.
Sure. What's that? Wait, am I just randomly taking things out of the basket?
Hello there. What are you two up to in here?
Mummy, Mummy! We're playing with the toys in my basket.
I think George would like to play with you too.
Okay, George.
Impossible. George, I'm busy with my new friend. Ooh.
Peppa, I'm sure you can all play together, the three of you. Why don't you play tag?
How do you play tag?
You have to chase
What?
each other, and when you catch someone, they're it.
Okay, you're it.
Okay then, I'll leave you to it.
Why is she so mean to George? Wonk. 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 You know what? Blah, 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 blah. This is tag. Wait, when am I it? Or when am I not it? Help? What? Can we stop? I don't want to play tag anymore. I don't know if I am or if I'm not. Can I jump? Okay. Does this end at some point? Can I climb up the bed? Or leave the room? Because I'm totally done with this. Okay, there we go. What's in here? I'm a pirate! I'm a nurse! The game shall spare you from Lord Bonnie's wrath! And now I'm a fairy! And now I'm a cowgirl! And now I'm an astronaut! I'm gonna be a pirate, I think. Okay. Whee! Wait.
Standing still is...
Wait, what?
Standing still is bored.
Okay. Are you okay, Peppa?
Standing still is boring. Let's go some...
Ooh. Okay. What is that? Is that some kind of chemical? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go somewhere else. Where I can be a pirate and all my piratey goodness. Let's go outside. Let's go outside!
My granny and grandpa. The house is just ahead. Let's keep walking this way.
Okay. Should we take the car? What, in the car? Of a sudden? Am I? Where are we going? I don't know what's going on. The play group! Okay.
Playgroup.
I mean, this is pretty much just playing an episode of Peppa Pig. It's so weird.
You have arrived at the play, a place to learn and play with Peppa and her friends.
Okay. What if I don't want to go to the playgroup?
Hello, everyone. This is my new friend. Hello.
Hello! Hello, little British children.
Sounds very good.
Yay! Okay. How about this? Should we draw a picture? A flower? Oh, how
What a
lovely.
lovely drawing. Why don't you take it and hang it in Peppa's house?
Why would I take it to Peppa's house? Wouldn't I take it to my own house? Oh, I could draw another one. Can I keep this one? Or do I have to give that to Peppa? Is this a Peppa task?
Lovely. It will look great on Peppa's wall.
Wait, the Peppa tax is that I have to give her all my art? That's not fair. That's so unfair.
3, 2, 1. Splendid. Now we go from big to small. 2, 1, 3. Now it's all jumbled up. Why don't you try it again? 1, 2, 3. This goes from small to big. Very good.
The Peppa tax is I have to give her all my art. The topic from Okay. Let's see, what else can I do? No, I want to go back. No, I don't want to do it again. I didn't even press
3,
space!
2, 1. Splendid.
What the
We
heck?
go from big to small.
Oh, and it won't let me... I have to do the whole
2,
thing.
1, 3.
Yeah, I get it.
Now it's all
I get it.
jumbled up. Why don't you try it again?
Why don't you try it again? No, I want to get up and go somewhere else. I don't like
This goes from
playgroup.
Small to big. Very good.
I already know how to spell.
Children, today is a very special day.
Oh gosh, I
You
hope
know
so.
what day it is?
Are we going to the
Is it
Windy
your
Castle?
birthday?
No, it's not my birthday, Danny. Anyone else want to guess? How about you?
Me?
Good guess. Today is Sports Day.
When did I say Sports Day?
What is Sports Day?
Sports Day is a very important day. Everyone must do sports today so we can all stay healthy. Let's go to the running track.
Running
All right,
track.
children, start running on my count. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay. Okay, I'm pulling ahead. Peppa, let me win. Peppa, let me win.
Children,
There is some irony here. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Of course, Peppa's gonna be second
very
place.
good, Peppa. And your friend is very fast.
Wait, I'm sorry. Peppa gets the praise and I'm secondary? I'm the one playing the game. And I'm winning.
Last effort, children. You're almost at the finish line.
Look, I'm pulling ahead. There, see? I
Yes. Oh, congratulations. You all did a very good job. You all deserve a trophy today, don't you think, Peppa?
Yes. I'm the one playing the
Susie?
game, but Peppa's Jesus here. Yeah, she certainly is.
Pedro?
Pedro. Oh, Pedro. Maybe Pedro's a horse. And
And you too, of course.
I have a name. Participation trophies.
Splendid.
Exactly what I was
hope
thinking.
We all learned about the importance of sports today.
But can we still run if it's not sports day?
Oh, of course.
You can always run. Running is fun.
Okay. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny. Oh, so she laughs every time. Yep, she laughs every time I spin. I'm not doing any... No, I'm not paying the Peppa tax. Okay, let's try again.
Peppa, I see you and your friend are already here.
You know what? I'm done. This is nonsense. I'm leaving.
Let's go this way.
Go this way? No, I'm going this way. Okay, now I'll go that way. Okay, Peppa. Let's... Okay. Alright.
Let's make a sand
Let's make a sand castle.
castle. Put sand in your bucket.
Really? Is it Tuesday, love? Sand in the bucket. More sand in the...
Turn your bucket over and then lift it off.
Okay, this takes no skill.
Ta-da! And now you can knock it down.
No! It's my castle! It's gonna make me knock it down. That's not cool. Oh, thank goodness.
Whee! What's that?
What?
Is the branch moving?
Is
Maybe
there a
the
mystery?
tree's saying hello to us. Hello, Mr. Tree. Please don't say hello, silly. It's Tiddles the tortoise.
Tiddles the
Oh my
tortoise?
gosh. I
Still
remember
not
Tiddles the
true.
tortoise.
We need to get him down. Dr. Hamster will be so worried that he's missing.
Yes, but how do we do that? It's too high up.
How does a turtle get in a tree?
She'll know what to do.
Madame Gazelle will know what to do to get Tiddles the tortoise back down from the tree. Let's find her in the classroom.
Oh no!
Whee!
We need to get Tiddles the tortoise down. It's Tiddles the tortoise. Please help. Help!
Madame Gazelle. Tiddles the tortoise is stuck in the tree.
Oh no, poor Tiddles. We need to do something.
Yes, we do.
Hang on, Tiddles. We're going to get you down in no time.
I know. Peppa's mom was right there. But I'm supposed to get the...
It's too high for me.
It's not that high.
Why don't
Just
you
have him
and
hop on
friend
your head.
Go and find me a ladder so I can climb up the tree and rescue Tiddles.
There's a ladder right outside the playgroup. Help Peppa find the ladder so Madame Gazelle can use it to get Tiddles down.
Let's go this way. Whee! Whee!
Oh, wait, this way?
Whee!
Should I
Let's
take...
ask Madame Gazelle to get the ladder. Whee! Whee!
Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. We've got it. Magical ladder that suddenly shows up.
The ladder Madame Gazelle was talking about.
Okay.
You found it. Good job.
There we go. Oh my god.
There you are,
Tiddles.
Let's get you down, shall we?
I used to work as... So I've mentioned I've worked as a nanny.
Go, Tiddles. No more climbing today.
Hooray!
I'll call Dr. Hamster and tell her Tiddles is sick.
And...
Thank you all. You did a wonderful
Oh my
job.
gosh. Okay.
Now, let's make sure Tiddles doesn't climb
How did
again.
he even climb up there?
Gone again.
Oh, Tiddles.
Oh, Tiddles. They're gonna... I knew... What?
Tiddles is safe and everyone is having a great time.
He's up there, isn't he?
Whee!
So yeah. So I used to work as a nanny. The only character I like in Peppa Pig is Tiddles. Whee! Yippee! Yippee! Okay. What? I'm done now? Okay. Can I go that way? No.
Play with our friends.
Oh, we can talk to Madame Gazelle.
Let's make a sandcastle.
Okay, we'll make another sandcastle.
First,
Yes, I know.
in your bucket.
I did it before. Knit, knit, knit. There we go.
Turn your bucket over and then lift it off.
Tiddle secret. Sorry. Tiddles, you crazy son of a bitch. He's the bravest of them all. I agree. I don't know how he manages around all these crazy children. I guess we have to go talk to Madame Gazelle again. Okay, Madame Gazelle.
Peppa, I see you and your friend are already here.
Doesn't that car in the background look a little bit...
I love the slide. It's so much fun.
Okay. Doesn't the car in the background look a little bit like the Homer Mobile? Okay, I think she wants us to do the slide. I think she wants us to do the slide again. So let's go down the slide one more time. Okay. There. Okay, we're done. The slide is not the best one. It's the swing. Okay. Let's see. Should we get back in the car or should we get on the bus? Let's get on the bus. Let's see where that... Maybe that will take us to Windy Castle.
The playgroup uses that bus to go to the museum.
You know what? I like museums. To be honest, if I had to play this game, I'd want the Homer Mobile for the horns. Let's go to the museum. Oh my.
Hello, Mr. Bull. What is going on here?
Hello, family. Hello, children. We are in the middle of doing some repairs on this road.
What happened to the old road?
There were some bumps caused by the tree's roots nearby, which made it dangerous to drive through. Not to worry. Mr. Rhinoceros and I will take care of it.
But what about the
We
museum?
won't delay you any longer. You must be busy. Is there a way to go through?
Yes, you can drive right by the road. Be careful.
We will.
Peppa, Peppa somehow found herself in the magical land of Illinois.
Hi, Mr. Rhinoceros. Thank you for fixing the road.
I mean, well, here's the thing though. They're actually fixing the road. A lot of places, they do not fix the road. Unless they absolutely have to.
The museum.
And then there's Montreal, where there's always road construction. Okay. Wait. I can get in the car. But I won't. I'll go to the museum. I like museums.
To another room.
We're not even in the museum yet. Space.
Wow.
That
looks
looks really old.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
George.
Dinosaur.
Oh, poor George.
Let's go this way. I think it's too long for you.
Oh, really? Oh,
I think I would make a great queen. I would sit around all day and eat all the ice cream I wanted.
that is not what it takes
Here's
to
the
be
US
a queen,
are
Peppa.
royalty, and you can have anything you ask for.
Is there anything you would like, Your Majesties?
Yes, we want ice creams, please.
Of course, Queen Peppa.
This is what happens to children when they grow up in a monarchy. They think that they get ice cream for being queen.
This ice cream is delicious. More, please. I like being a queen.
I'm sure you would make a great Queen, Peppa.
Oh dear. Oh my. Okay. Alright. Okay. Caesar in the room about the monarchy. Where's the King Charles stuff? C's sign pointing to water closet. 3 guesses where the Camilla stuff is. Oh dear. Oh wait, George should be in this room. Wait, we're allowed to mess with the displays? Oh, there's George.
George, it's an enormous dinosaur. Dinosaur!
Oh, yes, George. It's a real dinosaur. One that lived many, many years ago.
Yes.
Dinosaur.
Are you with us, George?
George is in his own
George
world.
Has found his favourite room.
I find George highly relatable. I'm just gonna be in my own world. Okay, so let's see. Fun fact. Carmela brought some ceramic figures from my friend that lives in Newfoundland, but then her payment failed after that, and my friend never got paid. Ugh, disgusting. Queen Peppa went down as the worst royal in United Kingdom history due to her unpopular ice cream-centric agenda. It got too cold. Okay. Alright. Sure. I say George steals that dinosaur. Wait, what happened to George's dinosaur? George? Where's your dinosaur?
Let's go to another room.
Oh my god, Peppa, I get it. Take the rocket to the moon in the Rocket Museum.
Welcome, welcome.
Public
Here to
reception
join
is
me on
icy.
that trip to the moon? Jump aboard the
Accurate.
rocket train. Mr. Rabbit is the tour guide. He knows a lot about the universe.
Are we really going to the moon?
No, Peppa. It's just pretend.
That's right, Peppa. It's just a pretend moon. Now, all passengers, hold on tight to your seats. We're about to take off. 3.
They all look like they're staring really hard.
Blast off.
Even when they blink, they still look like they're staring.
Everybody know what these things hanging from the ceiling are?
Stars and planets?
Precisely. And do you know the name of the planets?
Pluto is a planet.
Really?
Ooh,
Mercury,
I know one.
Venus, Earth,
The Earth.
Mars, Jupiter, Saturn,
Very
Uranus,
good,
Neptune,
This is
Pluto.
Earth. We also have Venus, Mars, Neptune.
They missed Mercury.
Ah, this is a satellite. Satellites fly around the world so we can have TVs and the internet.
Yes.
But how do they do that?
I don't know.
It's all magic. And we've reached the end. Please exit the rocket and continue to the next room, where you will see the moon.
Sure, it's magic. That's what
Welcome to the moon. Gravity on the moon is much weaker, so we can jump much higher.
Look, it's a museum. You should be giving the children real answers. That's all I'm gonna say.
The moon has less gravity than the Earth, which means you'd feel lighter and be able to jump higher.
Whee!
I want to see Uranus.
Strap in,
Step in
and
and jump.
up.
Okay. Boing, boing, boing. Okay. This is like the easiest and weirdest game. People always underestimate children's intelligence and ability to learn. I completely agree. Whenever I worked with kids, I would just tell them. They had a question, I would tell them if I knew the answer. And if I didn't know the answer, I'd look it up. That's what you do. Ooh, wait a moment. Hot air balloon.
Let's go to another room.
No, hot air balloon.
It's a wonderful day to get some good views from up in the hot air balloon.
I do not mind the Uranus jokes. Okay, so Uranus and Uranus, I think both sound bad. Maybe it's just me. But I think both sound bad. Either way. Okay. Whee! Oh, I can make us fly higher. The forest. Okay.
Forest.
We're lost in the forest, I guess.
Hello there. You two seem to be having loads of fun together.
Maybe. Wait.
I wonder if Miss Rabbit will take us up in the balloon.
Wait, there's the butterfly.
Ooh, a butterfly.
It's so pretty.
Let's follow it.
Let's follow the butterfly. Hang on a second. I'm wearing an extra shirt. I'm going to take that off. Peppa is too much work. There we go. I was joking about the horror thing. Yeah, we're going to find a cabin in the woods. Okay. Let's find a cabin in the woods, Peppa.
Oh my, there's rubbish everywhere.
Rubbish.
Perhaps you should help Peppa clean the forest.
Sure, let's help
No,
Peppa clean the
There's
forest.
rubbish on the ground. We should put it in the rubbish bin.
You think?
Got one.
There we go. What about recycling? Don't they know what recycling is? Let's follow the butterfly, and they were never heard from again. I agree. Rubbish bin! Yeah, those sneaky butterflies. Well, you know, a lot of those caterpillars are poisonous.
Well done. If we all do our part, it's easy. to keep
No,
the forest
Peppa, you
clean.
need gloves for that. Should we go that way? Oh, look. There's tracks.
Whose tracks are these?
I don't know.
Follow them, we'll find out.
Sure. Geese? Ducks?
Maybe it's insects.
Peppa, are you okay? That did not sound like an insect. You assume the people who made this think kids have an IQ below a jar of mayo.
What do you think it is?
It's a duck or a goose. It's not an insect.
Bird.
Oh, now you're getting it. Peppa.
Wow. Duck.
There we go. Ooh, maybe they have grapes.
Did you guess the animal?
I played Telltale games that were more of a game than this. Yeah. This is pretty much just
What a
watching
lovely
Peppa
spot for
Pig.
camping. Ah, Peppa. I see you and your friend are already here.
Hello, Peppa. Hello, Peppa. Hello, Peppa's friend. Hello, everybody.
My name is Peppa's friend.
Children. Now that we're here, you need to pitch your tents. And we need someone to collect sticks for the campfire.
Oh dear,
Do it,
pitching
Madame
tents.
Gazelle. We'll collect the sticks.
Madame Gazelle has asked you to collect sticks so she can build a campfire. Follow Peppa and help her get enough sticks for the campfire.
Sticks, sticks, sticks. We need to collect lots of sticks.
I've played
Good
better
boy.
visual novels. Oh, I can only do one at a time? Well, that's lame. I can pick up more than one stick at a time. Are you kidding
I
me?
need a few more sticks. Would you get them for me?
The pod people gather up for the annual softball game against the children of the corn. Wait, what did she want me to do? Oh. Do I fix something? Maybe? Wait, what did she say to do? I don't remember! I missed it! Darn. Oh, more sticks. Okay.
Should be enough. Let's get back to Madame Gazelle.
Let's get back to Madame Gazelle.
Excellent
Excellent
job.
job.
Now, why don't you pitch your tent while I prepare the campfire?
Sure. Pitching tents. Right. Okay.
Gather round, children.
More
Who wants
sticks.
to hear a song?
Me.
Okay then.
What about a limerick? There was a young lady from Venus. Okay.
Ooh, we're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bing and a bong and a bing.
Bong, bing, boo. Bing, bong, bing. Bing, bong, bingly, bongly, boo. Bong, bing, boo. Bing, bong, bing. Bing, bong, bingly, bongly, boo. Bong, bing, boo.
Oh my god.
Bing, bong, bingly, bongly, boo. Bong, bing, boo. Bing, bong, bing. Bing, bong, bingly, bongly, boo.
Why was that not a Billboard Top 40? Bingly bungly boom. I thought we were just going to the museum. Why are we suddenly going camping, by the way?
Pig and George have come to have a lovely picnic in the forest.
A lovely picnic.
What a wonderful day to
Yeah,
have
all
a
I do
picnic
is
in the
laugh.
forest.
Come on, let's find a nice spot to sit down and have lunch.
Oh dear.
How about we go that way?
Sure, let's go that. Whatever direction you're pointing, I don't
This
know.
place seems about right, doesn't it? Can I have the basket, Daddy Pig?
But that's where that's where the campsite is.
Yes, of course.
What's wrong, Daddy Pig? Your face has gone very red.
I think it's obvious.
I think I have left the picnic basket in the car.
Oh no. We will have to go and get it then.
Oh dear.
Perhaps you and Peppa could head back to the car and bring the
Of
basket.
course.
Of course, Mummy. We'll be back in no time.
Daddy Pig has left the picnic basket.
I know that already.
They need you to go back and get it for them.
Let's go back to the car. and
Look,
get the
I
picnic
understand children
basket.
often learn by repetition, but I think that was unnecessary. And why is this guy hanging around over here? Ooh, baguettes. I think I left the picnic basket in the car. Daddy Pig realizes the family is too close to where he hid the body, so he made his plan to run.
Thank you, you two. Let's all take a seat now.
Oops. I guess I'm a bit hungry.
You think?
Good job. You've brought the picnic basket back. And
I don't-
now Peppa's family can enjoy a delicious
Uh,
lunch in the forest.
That's not that funny. Oh my god, it's nighttime again? But it was just nighttime.
Here, this goes there, and voila!
How long does it take to set up a picnic?
These sandwiches are delicious, Daddy Pig.
Yes, Daddy.
Why, thank you. How about you? Do you like them?
What was that? Ducks? What are you doing here? Are you hungry too? Mummy, can we give them some food?
We could, but it seems there's only Daddy's sandwich left.
Oh.
Steal Daddy's sandwich.
Daddy, we have to give them some food.
Oh,
He's
all
okay.
right. There you go, ducks.
What if it's a duck sandwich?
Food.
Maybe he
At
just
least
fed them
someone
duck.
is.
Oh, Daddy, you're always a bit full.
Yeah, don't feed ducks bread or throw rice at weddings. The birds will eat them. Oh god, yeah. Let's not, you know, throw seeds at least. Okay, what are we doing now? I guess that part's done. So let's go to the bicycles. Let's go to the bicycles. Let's see what happens with the bicycles. Whee! I should be going down that hill much faster at that steep an angle. And this should be painfully impossible. This is how you build thighs of steel. Frozen peas or grapes. That makes sense. Wait, how are we back?
Peppa's house.
I don't want to be at Peppa's house. Peppa's house is boring. Let's go to her granny and grandpa's house. We were gonna do that, but I got in the car. Nope, we're not going to your house. We're going to Granny and oh look. Mud! Mud! Oh my. A kite! Whee! Whee! Okay, that was sudden, but hey, I'll accept it. There, Granny and Grandpa's house. They have a nice garden. Look at that.
Grandparents' house.
Are those peas? Like sweet peas?
This is my Granny and Grandpa's house. Grandpa is always in his garden, and Granny takes care of the chickens.
This is Granny and Grandpa Pig's house. Peppa always has a great time here.
Okay. Alright, so maybe that's turnips, maybe some lettuce, maybe some sweet peas, some carrots, some more, maybe cabbage. I don't know what the rest is. I give up. And some apples. Apples.
Let's go this way.
Let's go this way. Now, I want to see the apple trees. Ooh. There's some blackberries, some strawberries, some pumpkins. Oh, that's Grandpa. What are you doing?
Seeds so that new plants will grow in the garden. Do you want to help me?
No.
What do we have to do?
Well, for starters, pick one of the plants in the garden and grab a seed from it.
Okay.
Yes, Peppa.
Whichever you prefer.
But I don't know which one to pick. I know. Why don't you help me pick?
Help Peppa and Grandpa grow a new plant in the garden. Go to one of the plants.
Do we have a seed for Audrey too? We can make Audrey 3. So we've got pumpkins. I know, Peppa. Jeez, you're so demanding. No. Pumpkins. Let's do pumpkins. We'll grow a gigantic pumpkin, and we'll live in it. I'll make it my house. This game can be saved if there's a mini game involving the whole apple core. Baltimore. I know. Who's your friend?
Well
Me, Splat.
done. Now come back and plant it here.
Let's grow the biggest pumpkin.
First, make a little hole.
A little hole. Boink,
Now put the seed in.
boink, boink.
Cover it with earth and water it.
Water it. Okay. The controls in this game are so complicated.
Fantastic. Now a new plant will grow here.
Will it take a long time, Grandpa?
Oh yes. Plants grow very slowly.
Plants
Make
grow
sure to
very
come back every
slowly.
once in a while to see how much the plant has grown.
Good job. You have planted a new seed in Grandpa's garden. Make sure to come back here every once in a while to see the plants grow.
I remember the Apple Core Baltimore bit because it was in one of the Chip and Dale cartoons. Apple Core, Baltimore. Who's your friend? Me, Splat. Oh, look at the manure.
Let's go this way.
Oh, dear. Oh, you know, we're on an ad break. I'm just going to take a really quick moment to do something. I will be right back. Here. BRB.
Go and see the chickens in the coop.
Can we go and see the chickens in the coop? No, we can't, Peppa. No, we can't.
This way. Can we go and see the chickens in the coop? Let's go this way. Can we go and see the chickens in the coop? Let's go this way. Can we go and see the chickens in the coop? Let's go this way. Can we go and see the chickens in the coop? Let's go this way.
Has Peppa complained yet about standing still? Or standing still? Don't have an apple farm? Yep.
Can we go and see the chickens in the coop?
No! We shall look at the rubbish!
Yeah. Grandpa, what is this for?
Oh, that is called compost. It's a special
Compost.
muck that I use to fertilize the veggies. Be careful though, it's very smelly.
What does fertilize mean, Grandpa?
It means it will help them grow bigger and be even more delicious. Why Why don't you try putting some in this patch of land?
Oh, you're gonna make us deal with manure now?
Follow me.
Okay. Where you're not going anywhere.
Follow me.
Oh, great job! Now the plants will grow strong and tall.
Okay. And that's it. Okay, finally, the chickens. There's nothing to do.
We could go and help Grandpa Pig in the garden.
You are so excited about the chickens! Peppa!
We could go and help Grandpa Pig in the garden.
Oh, look. They're growing.
Oh, hello, children. Are you having fun?
Yes, Grandpa. We're having a lot of fun.
I wonder, do you like aeroplanes?
That's a little random.
Yes.
Fantastic. Why don't you come with me then?
All right. Where are we going, Grandpa?
You'll see. Just a moment now.
He's going to take us in the plane and then dump us in the manure pile.
Here we are. Now wait here just a second. Oh dear. Where did I put it?
Your entire airplane?
Here it is.
Ooh. What is this, Grandpa?
It's a toy aeroplane.
Oh, come on.
Watch.
Wow, Grandpa Pig has built a toy aeroplane. Why don't
That
you
wow
try
was so enthusiastic. Wow. Wow. Wow.
How about a tour around the house?
Whee!
I bet it has spy cameras on it.
What was that?
Oh, landing is the tricky bit.
It's the best toy aeroplane in the whole world ever.
Are you sure, Peppa? Do you really believe that, darling? Why? Why are they rolling on the floor laughing when they... I mean, it's not that...
Everybody loves toy aeroplanes.
I don't know. Do you guys love toy aeroplanes? Is it better if they're aeroplanes rather than airplanes? I'm not sure. I love toy airplanes.
Can we go and see the chickens?
We already did that, Peppa. Jeez Louise, girl. Are you never satisfied? Peppa apparently hit herself on the tree in front of the slide too many times. We already did it! Oh my god, Peppa, we're doing something
Go
else.
this way.
Polly Parrot imitates everything you do. Why don't you try jumping or making a sound?
Oh no! Polly's food bowl is empty. She must be pretty hungry. Why don't we go and get some food so we can fill the bowl?
I want to go to the Windy Castle.
Look, Polly, here's your food. It will give you energy to do more jumping and chirping.
Okay.
It's very good. It's very good. Rah! Rah!
Okay. A chicken
Mrs.
has
Chicken?
entered.
What are you
Is she
doing?
gonna try to eat Polly's food?
Good to see you, Peppa.
It's very good.
I see you've brought a friend. Hello. Have you seen a chicken around here?
Yes, Granny. She just left.
Oh, my. That won't do at all. Peppa,
Chicken spies.
can you and your friend help
Chicken
me find the missing
spies.
chickens? I don't think they will have gone very far.
Yes, Granny. We will find them.
It seems Granny's chickens have left their coop. Why don't you help her by bringing all of the chickens back?
Oh my god, the friggin' chickens. Okay. Oh my. Yeah, whatever freaking chickens.
This way.
Throw them into the manure.
Excellent. Only 2 more chickens left.
Oh my goodness, really?
Thank you. I think there's still 1 chicken missing.
Yes. Thinks about the implications of pigs owning a chicken farm in an animal land than what do farming chickens own? Good question. Now, okay. I believe all the animal characters in Peppa Pig that are sentient are mammals, if I recall correctly.
This way.
Although, our little tortoise friend is
That's
probably
the
more
last
sentient
one.
than anyone else.
All of the chickens are safe and sound now, thanks to you.
The tortoise. Okay, I got an achievement for rounding up the chickens. But you want to piss off the chickens, yes. Okay, can we do that? Nah.
Let's go and help Grandpa Pig in the garden.
Oh, brr. Peppa. How many words can you actually say?
Hello, Peppa. Hello, Peppa's friend.
Hello, Grandpa.
Peppa, I think we're going to get hungry while we wait for the vegetables to grow. Would you like to have a meal?
Yes, I want pumpkin pie made with those pumpkins right there. Those are my pumpkins.
Splendid. Then why don't you go fetch some eggs from Granny Pig's coop? and
Because
bring them to
Granny
the kitchen?
Pig's chickens.
Grandpa Pig wants you to get some eggs from the chicken coop and take them to the kitchen so he and Granny Pig can cook you a meal.
Repetition.
First, let's go to the chicken coop.
This way.
I feel so, like... I feel so belittled. Like, the game doesn't even give you an option to put in your name. And it's not
Hello,
even, like...
children.
Hello,
It's not even an
Have you
online
come to
game.
check on the chickens?
No, Granny. Grandpa has sent us to get eggs so we can cook a yummy meal.
I see. Why don't you take them yourself? Check inside the little house.
Yes. A tiny chick!
Thank you, chicken.
Ah, I see you've got some eggs.
Yes.
Now, why don't you take them to the kitchen?
Sure.
I'll go ahead and wait for you there.
Granny and Grandpa Pig are waiting for you in the kitchen. Better not make them wait too long.
Those chickens are gonna come after us. We're taking their children. We're kidnapping. I remember...
Go this way.
Oh my god, Peppa. I remember in school one time we went to a farmer's market and they accidentally bought a fertilized egg.
Ah, there you are.
It was quite sad.
I hope you're hungry.
I am.
delicious hard-boiled eggs for you two. Why don't you sit at the table?
I'm allergic to eggs. This game feels like what the writers of Teen Titans Go
Enjoy
think
your
Starfire
meal,
is like.
everyone.
It's very good.
I'm glad you like it, Peppa.
It's very good.
I'm sorry, Polly. I don't think these would be good for you.
That would be cannibalism. Or almost cannibalism. Okay, I guess that's the end of that episode. Alright. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh, look. What? I want to do something with the washing machine. Because in England, they often have their washing machines in the kitchen. Okay. Alright, I think we've exhausted all of this. Okay. Here, let's see. Anything more with my lovely, lovely pumpkins? No.
Oh, hello, children. Are you having fun?
Why, yes, Grandpa.
Having a lot of fun.
I wonder.
Oh, not the airplanes again. No, I'm done. No.
Fantastic. Why
No.
don't you come with me then?
But why? Where are we going, Grandpa?
You'll see. Just a moment now. Here we are. Now wait here just a second.
Okay, fine. What? Why can't he bring out a drone?
Dear, where did I?
Let's have a drone instead.
Ah, here it is.
What is this, Grandpa?
It's a toy aeroplane.
It's a toy aeroplane. My friend Peppa Pig, the first layer of hell.
Wow.
I agree.
He has built a toy aeroplane. Why don't you try it?
No. I'm not gonna try the loop-de-loop. Let's just see what happens if I don't do it. Yeah, so...
How about a tour around the house?
Okay. I'm not doing anything. Is it gonna... Okay. Interesting. So it just plays through.
What was that?
Okay, I think we're done here. I think we've exhausted the grandparents' house.
It's the best toy aeroplane in the whole world ever.
Thank you, Peppa.
You know, someday Peppa Pig is going to be in the public domain. And when it is,
Grandpa loved
you know they're going to make a horror movie about Peppa Pig. You know they will. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's steal Grandma and Grandpa's car and try to go to the Windy Castle.
See the chicken?
No!
Coop?
Peppa! Oh my god. Chill out about the chickens. It's like fetch. It's just not gonna happen. Let's steal the car. No! We're gonna steal the car. And when do we get to go to the Windy Castle? There's a 5-year-old already writing a Peppa horror movie to pass down to their kids. The beach. Yes, I agree, Digi.
Beach.
I'm sure there's probably Peppa Pig fanfic on
Granny,
AO3.
where is all the sand?
Well, this is a rocky beach. So instead of sand, it's full of rocks.
Oh, we wanted to build sand castles. What are we going to do?
Oh my gosh,
Don't
Peppa, be
worry.
polite.
There are plenty of fun things to do on this rocky beach. If you look around, you will find pools of water between the rocks.
Called tide pools.
Fun to see what's in them.
That's
Yes.
right. When the sea goes out, it always leaves behind something special in the rock pools.
Really? What sort of things are we going to find?
Why don't you and your friend have a look in the rock pools and put what you find in the bucket?
Take a look in the rock pools on the beach and show Granny and Grandpa Pig the things you find.
Yes. We're gonna get an Uncle Scrooge horror movie when the last of the OG DuckTales generation is in the old folks' home. Absolutely. Is there an urchin? There's money!
I have found something very shiny.
No, I found it!
Coin. Perhaps it once belonged to a pirate.
Peppa, you didn't find it. I found it.
I love pirates.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I found a crab in the rock pool.
I found the crab!
Love to hide in rock pools. Be careful not to get your finger pinched.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be a naughty crab.
Okay, so Peppa is that kid at school where you have a group project with them and they do nothing, but they take all the credit. Find 3 different things in the rock pools.
Did you know that if you put a shell to your ear, you can hear the sea?
Really? Wow.
Congratulations. You have found all the things in the rock pools.
No
And
sea
you've learned
urchins?
a lot about rocky beaches.
No starfish?
Let's see what's in the rock pools.
I already did that. I'm going.
Let's go this way.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you. I'd rather play with George. At least he has some kind of personality.
Mummy, Daddy, you're here.
Are you enjoying your time with Granny and Grandpa Pig?
Yes, Mummy.
That's great. Now how about we find a spot on the
Oh
sand to
my
sit
goodness.
This place seems like a nice spot.
Watch, I'll download this to YouTube and they'll decide it's for children instead of adults. And then I'll get dinged on it because I'm not playing it right. Oh, I get the blue one. Okay.
Let's make a sandcastle. First, put sand in your bucket.
Peppa, I know how to do that. We already did that at school.
Turn your bucket over and then lift it off.
It's not like it takes much talent to do that.
Ta-da! And now you can knock it down. I love sandcastles.
Was that even knocking it down? Oh my gosh, we already did that at school.
Go this way.
Right, do they have ideas? I don't know. Ooh, let's play ball. Ball! 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 I don't know what game this is, but hey, at least it's something. I'm just gonna throw only to George now. Alright, let's go in the water. Drown, Peppa, drown!
Let's go for a swim.
Wait a minute. You can't go in like this.
Oh dear.
Oh, all right.
Oh, floaties, fine. Oh, why am I not taking off my beret for being in the ocean? I don't need a hat when I'm in the ocean. Okay, let's go. We already had a swim in the water. We already saw the tide pools. Okay, let's get out of here. Whee! Whimsy. Okay. Can we please get to the Windy Castle? That's where I want to go. No. We're leaving Granny and Grandpa's house. There's nothing more to do here.
House.
Goodbye.
This is Granny and Grandpa Pig's house. Peppa always has a great time here.
Nope, we're gone. Bye. Bye, Peppa. Goodbye. I want to go to the Windy Castle. Where's the Windy Castle?
Back home.
Okay. If this takes us back to the preschool, I'm not going to be happy. And it probably will. Yeah! Okay.
The playgroup.
We didn't get to do everything in the forest.
You have arrived at the
I don't think we did.
place to learn.
If
and
I see a
play.
sign that says
Peppa
Valley Lodge,
Pig.
I'm leaving. Yeah, if I see something that says Bates Motel, I'm gonna cry.
Do you know my...
I feel like we missed something. Oh my gosh, no.
Hello,
They're still working. They're still
What
working.
is going on here?
Hello, family. Hello, children. We are in the middle of doing some repairs on this road.
What
Okay.
happened to the old road?
Okay, we know this story. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Okay, yeah.
It's made it dangerous to drive through. Not to worry. Mr. Rhinoceros and I will take care of it.
Oh, we won't delay you any longer. You must be busy. Is there a way to go through?
She just wanted to flirt with the hot rhinoceros.
You can drive right by the road. Be careful.
We will. Thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Bull. Goodbye, Mr. Rhinoceros. Thank you for fixing the road.
Okay. Sure. Alright, museum. Can I go, like, just leave?
The museum.
Let's see. Can I wander off? No. Can I wander off this way? Maybe. Let's see what happens. Do we just end up back home? This is like... Okay, so this is like the never-ending Peppa Pig episode. You just keep doing the same things constantly. And it just keeps going. It's like Sisyphus with the rock. But the Windy Castle!
Peppa's house.
But... I want to go to the Windy Castle.
Back home.
Does this game even have an end? I don't think this game has... Yes, Peppa Eternal. Can we, like, Thanos snap Peppa, maybe? I don't know. She's disturbing. Yeah, I think we've exhausted all the options, really.
The forest.
Peppa Eternal. Yeah. Alright, let's get back in this thing.
It's a wonderful day to get some good views from up in the hot air balloon.
Yes, please.
Let's see how high we can go. Whee! 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 Okay. I need to follow whatever prompts pop up that point me to the castle. Okay. Here's a new one. Snowy Mountain. Okay. There we go.
Snowy
Something new.
Mountain.
Do we have our proper ski gear?
That's fun. Oh, we could ice skate. That's fun too.
There we go. Ski lift time.
Do you know how to ski? Miss Rabbit will give us skis to go down the mountain. Ooh, a snowman! I love snowmen. We should build one
Oh
ourselves.
dear.
Peppa wants to build a snowman.
Do you want to
will
build a
find all the
snowman?
Snow.
Come on, let's go and play. I never see you anymore. Ski lift time in dresses with short sleeves and no gloves on the snow without telling your parents you're in the Rockies. Right? Look, I had a job at a ski resort.
We can use that bit for a face.
And sometimes what parents will do is they won't properly outfit their kids. And the people in the ski school would have to tell them that they need to actually cover their kids' faces, or they could get, windburn on their faces,
Follow me.
or actually end up with frostbite on their cheeks, and then their faces will never look the same again.
Follow me.
I'm not following you, Peppa. I know how to make a snowman.
This is the best snowman ever.
Okay,
We did it.
I'll give him my beret. Okay. Can we go past? No. I guess we're going skiing.
I think these will be good for you.
Windy Castle. I want
Be
the Windy
careful.
Castle.
Don't go down the hill too fast. Have fun.
Whee! Fast!
I'm right behind
Faster!
you.
Faster! 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 Gotta take a shot in the dark. There was always that one parent that either said, oh, they'll be fine, or said there's no such thing as windburn. Yeah. Yeah. There are always parents like that.
Cold, Miss Rabbit will take us back in the balloon.
What if I want to go somewhere else? What if I want to go to the Windy Castle?
There you go. Have fun.
Can I have the purple
and
ones?
Try not to bump into anyone else on the ring.
I'd prefer... Thank you. Yeah, I like the purple ones better. Whee! Zoom. Okay, I can't do up and down. I can only do side and side. Whee! I'm going farther.
Use the
Yeah, I'm the fastest.
Let's see who's the fastest.
Okay. Peppa, we know it's me. I can only do side to side, yeah. Wee. Okay. Sure. Let's go this way. Maybe the Windy Castle is this way. No, it's not. I guess not.
If you get too cold, Miss Rabbit will take us back in the balloon.
Sure. Let's go. The Windy Castle. Let's go. Maybe she'll take us to the Windy Castle.
It's a wonderful day to get some good views from up in the hot air balloon.
Yes, please.
No. What are sure. Yay! We're in a cloud. No, I want to be in the cloud. No, I want to be in the clouds. In the cloud. There we go.
The forest.
Windy Castle.
Ooh, a butterfly.
Oh my gosh,
So
I know.
pretty. Let's follow it.
Yeah, butterfly, blah blah blah. I think we exhausted all of this. Did we? Okay, that's Grandpa. No, I want to go get lost in the forest. Thank you. Alright, we definitely exhausted this one. Perhaps we should go back to the house.
It's a wonderful day to get some good views from up in the hot air balloon.
Yes, please.
You know, okay, so I'm going to answer that question. Okay, so Digi says, okay, I know this is based on a kid's show. Was the kid's show always this insulting? Yes. Yes. Peppa Pig is a very, very insulting show. Like, and the way Peppa sometimes treats George is kind of appalling. Like, she's not nice to him. Like, come on, be a better older sister. No, okay, we already did Snowy Mountain. So, let's see, I think we have to go back to the museum. I don't think we exhausted the museum yet.
The ski lift looks fun. Or we could ice skate. That's fun too.
No, Peppa, no.
It's a wonderful day to get some good views from up in the hot air balloon.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
as I said earlier, the tortoise is the only good character on the show. Maybe George. George is okay sometimes. I suddenly get why so many kids and adults watch Bluey. Right? They should have a Ranma video game. That would be fun. I could see Ranma as a video game being a good, like a,
Forest.
Bluey is actually good, and you can't hang Aspen's misery on me this time. You did it to yourself, hon. Yes. He did. You know, I had a feeling they would have had a fighting game on the NES. I would imagine Ranma would be great for.
Miss Rabbit will take us up in the balloon.
Ranma would be great for like a Street Fighter style game. Okay, when was technically released?
Peppa's house.
Peppa's house. Okay,
Home.
we need to find the prompts for the Windy Castle. Okay, this is new.
Ah, there you are.
Okay.
Peppa, we're taking you and your
Windy Castle!
Windy Castle has a very tall tower. We'll get a view of the whole town. You'll see.
Hooray! Dinosaur!
No, George, I'm afraid there are no dinosaurs up there.
Dinosaur!
But you can take Mr. Dinosaur with you.
Dinosaur!
All right then. Why don't you two go and wait for us in the car while we finish getting ready?
Yes, Daddy. We'll go there right away.
So secretly,
Let's go to the car. Daddy will drive us to Windy
I think
Castle.
Tiddles the turtle is actually imagining everything in this game. And this is all just a fever dream. Okay, so it's crazy the number of anime fighters that were Japan only on SNES. Gundam Fighters, Yu Yu Hakusho, Ranma, and at least one more. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. The Game Boy has a Ranma RPG where you can play both male and female Ranma, and it influences interactions. Windy Castle! Sorry, I'm just really excited. Yeah, yeah. I think Ranma lends itself very well
You have
to a
arrived
fighting
with
game.
Peppa and her family at Windy Castle.
Wow! I've never seen such a big castle.
Come on, let's go inside. The view from the top is amazing. You'll see.
They laugh an awful lot. The view from Windy Castle. Okay. Although, if you had like a quest game where Ranma has to go back to Jusenkyo to find the proper spring to jump into.
Daddy, can we come back to Windy Castle soon?
Wait,
Of course.
that was
I'm
it?
glad you had a good time looking through the telescope.
I
knew
didn't
you'd
look
love
through the
it.
telescope. What are you talking
The
about?
castle is a lot of fun. Using the telescope from the top, you can spot many places, even some that are very far away.
There we go.
Looking through the telescope makes everything seem closer.
There we
Why
go.
don't you take some time to look
It's
around?
time to spy.
Do you recognize this? It's our house.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Daddy. I can see my bedroom window from here.
Oh no, are people peeping in on Peppa? They're Peppa peepers.
That looks like Granny and Grandpa's house. And look, Granny and Grandpa are outside. Do you think they can see us?
I don't think so, Peppa. We're very far away from them.
Oh, today would be a
Okay.
perfect day to go to the beach.
So this is a review of everything we did, essentially.
Look, look. I can see Miss Rabbit in her hot air balloon.
Okay,
She
okay.
must be waiting to take someone to Snowy Mountain.
We found the museum. I love the museum.
Cool.
Dinosaur.
I will never forget the Viz panel at Otakon the year they rescued
See what
Ranma.
else we can find.
The lady nearly broke down on stage. She was so happy to make the announcement they got Ranma on Blu-ray. And look over there, you see Raymond Burr murder a guy.
And there's Snowy Mountain. The view is fantastic.
But it seems to be very cold up there.
Sure.
The playgroup. No one's there though, because it's not playgroup time.
Ah, yes, this is the gay playgroup when they, after everything's closed, they have like wild gay parties.
Keep looking around.
Like the gay steel mill in The Simpsons.
Potato City.
Potato City?
Mommy, please.
Of course. Not now, though. We're enjoying Windy Castle today.
But it's Potato City!
Mummy, Daddy, can we come back to Windy Castle soon?
Of course, Peppa.
I'm glad you had a good time looking through the telescope. I knew you would love it.
Okay.
The castle is a lot of fun.
Yes.
Using the telescope for
The
a
teachers
top,
are...
you can
Yes,
spot
yes.
many places, even some that are very far away.
Gosh, I was first introduced to Ranma when, I think, it was when the series actually first started airing, or was first available to watch in the U.S. Yeah, I watched it. I actually did watch every episode at some point. There was a point where I had lost track of all the episodes of Ranma, but I think I watched all the seasons but the last one, and then eventually found the last
What's
one.
going on here?
Hello, family. Hello, children. We are in the middle of doing some repairs on this road.
What happened to the old road?
There were some bumps caused by the tree's roots nearby, which made it dangerous to drive through. Not to worry. Mr. Rhinoceros and I will take care
Same
of it.
story.
I'm sure you're very busy. We'd better be on our way. Is there a way to go through?
Oh, yes. You can drive right by the road. Be careful.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Bull. Goodbye, Mr. Rhinoceros. Thank you for fixing the road.
Okay, same problem again. Jeez. And there aren't that many trees around that have roots that would be big enough to go into a road like that. What happened to the old road? It asked too many questions, little girl. You want to know what we did?
Peppa's house. Back home.
Alright, let's go in Peppa's house, maybe? Oh, look, there's a picture of Windy Castle.
Ah, there you are.
Peppa, we're taking you and your friends.
No! I already went to Windy
The
Castle!
castle has a very tall.
We're done now.
We'll get a view of the whole.
We're done.
town.
It's
You'll
over.
Hooray! Dinosaur!
No,
Dinosaur!
I'm afraid there are no dinosaurs up there.
Are there?
Dinosaur!
But you can take Mr. Dinosaur with you.
Dinosaur!
All right then. Why don't you two go and wait for us in the car while we finish getting ready?
Yes, Daddy. We'll go there right away.
I wonder if the reason why Ranma fans are so non-toxic
Daddy will drive us
is
to
that
the castle.
pretty much every possible... I don't want to go to Windy Castle anymore. Every possible ship gets tried out and fails miserably, essentially. So it's like, it's not even... It's pointless to ship in Ranma because it all just kind of falls apart. Oh my gosh, can we just go back? Can we just go? Do I get to go to Potato City now? Windy Castle! Windy Castle!
Windy Castle!
Windy Castle! Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind.
You have arrived with Pepper and her family at Windy Castle.
Pepper?
Wow! I've never seen such a big
Peppa
castle.
Pig?
Come on, let's go inside. The view from the top is
6 of 1, half of a dozen of the other. Only 100% ship happens in the manga as in the main one. But it ends in a way you want more, but you're still happy for the characters. Yeah. Yeah. No. Let me out. Let me out! Let me out! Let me... There, finally. Oh my god, thanks. Okay. Thank goodness, thank goodness.
Daddy, can we come back to Windy?
No, now we have to go to Potato City.
Of course, Pepper.
I'm glad you had a good time looking through the telescope. I knew you would love it.
Windy Castle is a lot of fun. Using a telescope from the top, you can spot
No, I know.
that are very
Okay.
far away.
Let's go. Let's go. We're leaving. I feel like I'm being held hostage by the game. Oh dear. I mean, I guess essentially this we're just making our own Peppa Pig episode. Except it's 2 hours long. Okay, let's go back inside the house.
Peppa's house.
Peppa's house. Okay, let's go in the house.
Back home.
Let's go in the house. We're gonna go there. Can we play with the raincoats? Okay. Fine. Fine.
This is my daddy. Why don't we say
I
hello
already
to
know
him?
him, Peppa. Okay, Peppa's dad. Peppa, yeah. There's stuff there. There's stuff there. Let's go up. What?
What's the matter, George? Why are you crying?
Dinosaur.
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 What's that, George? You've lost Mr. Dinosaur? Don't worry. I'm sure it hasn't gone far. Could you have left it outside?
George and Peppa need your help to find Mr. Dinosaur. He must be somewhere nearby.
We will find it. We're good at finding things.
So Digi, you say if I didn't play this, it would have made a good revenge game against Panda for Frostpunk. Maybe what I can do is I have the other Peppa Pig game. Maybe I can get him to collab with me on it sometime. I already got Fantasia and the Lion King and Echo the Dolphin. We're supposed to look...
Go this way.
Is Dinosaur upstairs?
Follow me. Arr.
I want to be a pirate.
Follow me.
No, I'm not. Even when she's not
Go
there.
this way.
Yes, an Echo. There's another Peppa Pig game. I have 2. I downloaded the second one just in case this game was too short.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
I can see it. It's stuck in that tree.
The other game is more complex.
Paddle.
It's Peppa Pig like around the world.
It seems that Mr. Dinosaur is very high up in the tree. Perhaps they could use the help of someone taller.
Space.
Taking the tree will not help.
No.
Taking the tree will not help.
Oh my goodness, really? Yeah, we can play the other Peppa Pig game sometime. All right, let's find a grown-up.
Back home.
Let's find a grown-up.
This is my daddy. Why don't we say hello to him?
Hello, Peppa. I see you have a
No,
new friend.
I need help.
What are you doing, George? Dinosaur.
He has his dinosaur. What?
Let's go this way.
We didn't even need to do anything. He has his dinosaur back.
Why don't we go visit my granny and grandpa?
No.
House is just ahead. Let's go walking this way.
Seriously? I think all right, let's go back to the house. Let's re-trigger the dinosaur story.
Back home.
And then we can go to Potato City or whatever it's called.
This is my daddy.
No, we're not saying
don't
hello
we
to
say
him.
hello to
You don't have to say hello to him every single time.
What are you doing, George? Dinosaur.
Dinosaur. Grr. Okay, let's go upstairs. Okay.
Peppa, you and your friend have been very busy, haven't
Yes,
you?
we
We've
have.
heard you've been helping people around the town.
Yes.
Yes. My friend is very helpful.
I see. Well, so are you, Peppa.
And because you've been so good, we decided to take you both to Potato City.
Potato City!
Potato City.
Potato City!
Here we come.
Daddy
Okay.
Pig, didn't you get a bit dizzy last time you got on the potato rocket?
Yes. Well, I'm sure it won't happen this time.
Daddy Pig, you never learn.
Potato City is a magical place full of exciting things where Mr. Potato himself will teach you the importance of vegetables. Go to the car when you're ready and we'll be on our way.
This is educational. Okay, we do have an ad starting in a moment. We never rescued the dinosaur. He just magically respawned, I guess. That's not our fault, though. Mr. Potato. Legally distinct Mr. Potato Head.
Potato City.
Potato City!
Potato City, the place to explore and have fun, and learn about the importance of vegetables.
Hooray!
Ah, we're finally here.
It's bigger than I remembered.
Hello and welcome to Potato City! Have you come to have fun?
No.
Have you
No.
come to explore?
No.
Have you come to learn about the importance of eating fruit and vegetables at least 5 times a day?
No. Yes?
Fantastic! Then you are going to have a lot of fun. Remember to visit the whole park. There are plenty of things to do and plenty of things to see.
Hello, welcome to
All right
Potato
then,
City.
Run along, children.
I'll never mash potato again, don't hurt me! Always remember to eat your 5, visit Potato City. Okay. Alright. Let's get on the rocket, and then the ad will start.
I think I'll skip this one.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go!
Rocket! Okay.
Again.
That
I'll
was
definitely
super
skip
exciting.
The second round.
And Peppa's dad immediately started projectile vomiting. Exactly. Precisely. Let's go this way. Space.
You're a carrot.
I'm a carrot.
You're a tomato now.
A tomato.
Wow, a pumpkin.
And a pumpkin. Oh dear. George is side-eyeing those dinosaurs. He's not pleased. Okay, maybe he is pleased now. Alright, you know, it's an ad break. I will be right back. BRB. And you can listen to Peppa consistently saying, "Let's go this way." Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Let's go this way. Oh no. How many times did she say, "Let's go this way"? Wonderful. Peppa, you're improving. Alright, you guys. Red Triceratops. Or purple, is that a Diplodocus?
Let's go this way.
There she goes. Triceratops? Okay. They look like they evolved from halibut. Wait, I can't get on? What? I can't take a ride on these? That's all they do? They just make a dumb sound? Shame.
Ooh, let's go, let's go.
Riding a carrot on a carousel? Wait, why do I get the turnip?
Well, your friend has been with us for quite some time now.
It's time for her to go
quite
home.
Some time indeed. And you've been to so many places together. You've been to our house.
And you've been to our house.
We had a lot of fun, didn't we?
Of course. We even went to the beach together.
Okay.
Found many things in the rock pools.
And to the forest.
You helped poor Titters the tortoise in the playground.
Hooray!
Yeah, I feel the same about the eggplant, did you?
Snowy mountain.
I took you there. And to the museum.
Did you enjoy our trip to the moon? I always do.
I've been seeing you running around the town for some time now. It's always nice to see new faces.
Golly.
We got a good view of the whole town from Windy Castle, too.
What a lovely view it was.
And I'm happy to have met you now that you've come here to Potato City.
Well, I've had a lot of fun. Thanks to you. You're my friend forever. Friend forever. Friend forever.
Not best friend forever? Oh, they're gonna roll on. Of course. This is so hilarious. It is hilarious that apparently Peppa now has declared me her friend. That this is hilarious. Sure. Got it. Friend forever. Friend number 24,601. I wonder how many people have played this game. It might have been that many. That was painful. This can't they just play the theme song? Like the actual music? Or is that copyright? Yeah, Les Mis reference. Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. I feel thinky thing, no worky thing. Let's see, what can I pull out to read? Let me find something intellectual for you. Let's see. Should I find an actual copy of Les Mis and read it? I can read Alice in Wonderland if you want. Or maybe Animal Farm? We can find something intellectual. Oh my gosh, this just keeps going. Can it stop? Oh my gosh, it won't even... It's not gonna stop. Why isn't it... What? Escape? It won't let me escape. I have to watch all of the credits. Oh no, is this a cutscene at the end?
Peppa's house.
Oh no. We get a cutscene? What? Okay. There's more?
Daddy, why
Oh,
don't we
please
say
don't
hello
tell me
to
there's
him?
more. Well, I wasn't at the end.
What are you doing, George? Dinosaur.
I'm starting all over again. Here, can I escape? Okay. Oh my gosh. I can escape. I can escape. I can escape. Oh my gosh. I escaped. I escaped. Okay. Here. Let's go over here. We can be happy without the Peppa Pig game. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. I'm good. I'm okay. So, maybe next week I should play Peppa Pig World Adventure. Maybe. You know what? I am gonna do this right now. Peppa. There's my settings, my apps, installed apps. I can escape. Holy hell, I never thought I'd hear the legit sound of a person escape. Alright, I'm in my installed apps. Let's see. My Friend Peppa Pig. Where is it? What if I downloaded what if this game is a virus? Oh, there we go. Oh, thank goodness. Uninstall. Yes. Uninstall. Yes. Uninstall. Thank you. The game is gone. The game is done. We have completed my friend Peppa Pig, who is no friend. She is no friend. Okay. Yeah, let's see if I can get Panda to join me. Alright, let's find somebody to raid. Let's see if there's somebody cool to raid. Let's see. Who is playing things? Alright. What do you guys need to recover from that game? Like, what kind of game do you need me to raid into? Because right now I'm seeing somebody's playing Final Fantasy XIV. Somebody's playing the AI, the Summon Files. That was a blast to watch until the next one. Yeah, that was fun. Sniper Elite 4. Maside. Pokemon. Castlevania. You know what? Let's do that. Let's raid Nightmare Detective. He is playing Castlevania. Lament of Innocence. Let's go raid him. It's been a little while, and he's a pretty cool guy. Alright. Let's get out of here. The torture is done. It's over. We have completed the Peppa Pig game. But, you know what? I will say this. At least it's not the JoJo Siwa game. I have a feeling that the JoJo Siwa game will be worse. And I may have to play that one because I do own that one too. Alright. Let us go raid Nightmare Detective. Calling it a game is a crime against nature. Yes. Okay. Okay, we'll tell Nightmare Detective I played the most horror of horror games ever. Oh my god, my voice actually squeaked. That's hilarious. Okay. Alright, have a good night, everybody. Take care. Please don't have any Peppa Pig nightmares. I am going to end now, so I'm going to the end screen. Good night. Bye.
Power of the alchemy behind it, or of the thing. That way, it's way easier. It's a way easier way of explaining it. Hey, Ultima, how you doing? Thank you so much for the follow. How are you? Aspen. How you doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you? Welcome in, Raiders. How you doing? My name is Detective John Harlan. I am an eldritch private investigator and VTuber who specializes in horror games, speedruns, and dramatic lore theory. How you doing? It has been a while with the most evil horror game ever. Oh no, what you're playing. But it's nice to meet you all on Ultima. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome to the agency. We are playing Castlevania Lament of Innocence, which is the first game in the timeline. Turns into acid. Yeah, or like maybe what we consider or what was written down